Hello, friends. Welcome back to Page Chewing, and welcome back to the Border Trilogy discussions. We will be tackling Cities of the Plain, chapters 1 through 3 today. Sorry, I'm a week behind. If you're not on the forum, my apologies that I'm running behind. I had some real life stuff come up and just wasn't in the right headspace to do this kind of thing. So we'll try it now and we'll pick back up. So we are going through chapters 1 through 3 of Cities of the Plain by Cormac McCarthy, the third book in the Border Trilogy. And the first 3 chapters were, for those of you reading along with me or familiar with the book, they are, so it's this mishmash, right? Because we have John Grady Cole and Billy Param are working together on a farm. Not quite sure how they came together, came to be, but it is a little bit jarring for them to both be together suddenly without knowing how that came to be, because we've read about them and their journeys in the first 2 books. So it's weird to have them together now, to be in the same place at the same time. And we are now in 1952 in the book, and there's lots that's changed during the all the pretty horses discussions we talked about. Well, I talked about, and the people during our discussion for the book with Varsha and Chris, we did talk about the kind of the point in time that the book was based, where the way of life is changing for the for farmers and people who are in agriculture, and kind of setting up homes and not wandering, they're settling down and raising crops and raising livestock, and that way of life, it started to change, and we started to see people move around with mass transportation, with trains, with people moving around the country and not settling down as much, kind of not, kind of exploring more of the country and not settling in different places. So we do see that jump here as well with 1952. It is weird for them to be driving a car now. We did there is a car in the crossing. Of course, the doctor drives the car, but it is weird to see our main characters in a car after they have just been passengers in previous books. So that is a big change with, before they were taking care of the horses. And of course, horses are a big topic in the first 2 books, obviously, with all the pretty horses, especially kind of setting the stage and exploring the idea of how important horses are for this way of life, and John Grady Cole's ability to train them and to befriend, to befriend them and to use them and to raise them. So it was a big deal in that book, and so it is weird to see them in cars now, because life is changing with also with the war. War during this time, of course, in the crossing, Billy tries to sign up for the military, and he's denied. And that continues, because we do see the way of life again changing with the war effort, with things here in the States changing, with government ramping up, trying to kind of build support and resources for the war. So all that is a big change. Automatic. It's just strange to see them in a car. Really weird. Instead of horse problems, they were having car problems, which made it seem a little bit different. It made me feel a little different about it, because they had been riding horses this whole time, and now they're talking about windshields and cars, and it just, I guess it feels a little bit more modern and more. You just see the evolution, and you see the time period, and you see the changes that have happened in the past several years. So Billy and John are together, and of course there's a group of them. There's more characters, more side characters that we're introduced to. So a lot of that is what's established in the first chapter, especially. And of course, John meets Magdalena, and turns out he does a lot of things to maintain that relationship or that friendship with her. He's infatuated with her, wants to kind of run away with her. He wants, when we see this again, it it reminded me a lot of All the Pretty Horses, of his relationship in that book. And the name is escaping me. I forget her name. I can look it up in a second. But the of that, and also of Billy's brother with Boyd, and the girl in the second book, kind of their that relationship, it reminded me more of Boyd's relationship than of Billy, because it doesn't seem like this will end good. It doesn't seem like this will be a good a good conclusion, because Eduardo doesn't sound like he's ready to let Magdalena go, because of course, to him she is his property because of her profession. So that reminded me a lot of that relationship, and it doesn't this will not have a happy ending. And I'm not just saying that because it's a Cormac McCarthy book, but it just doesn't seem like we are ramping up for anything good here in this situation. And the name of the woman in the first book was Alejandra. That was her name with John, and his relationship with her. And I think back a lot to that conversation, and that whole idea behind her and her family, and the way that they saw her, and her honor, and her purity. So that it's we see the contrast between the different relationships. But yeah, it just doesn't seem like this will end very well. The owl seems like a not so great sign for our characters, that this will not this is kind of a bad omen. I'm not sure exactly where, but the owl in the windshield just doesn't sound like there are good things to come. Again, I'm not saying that because it's a McCarthy book, but because it just doesn't seem like that's things are not things are coming down the road. So the first three chapters, I didn't find a whole lot. There wasn't a whole lot of topics that I really stuck out to me. I have, the time period, our characters being together, of course, and I have mixed feelings on them being together. On one hand, it's nice to see your characters kind of converge, and seeing them interact, but on the same time, it seems a little. I mean, they are in the same area. I guess it's not unlikely that they'll run into each other, or for them to be working on the same ranch. Seems a little, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but I'm sure things will come together. So for next week, we'll tackle the next three chapters. They are not as long, but we'll stick to three chapters at a time. I think the fourth, or the last kind of update, or the last discussion, will be 4 chapters. So it'll be a little bit longer, but we'll do the next three. We will do 4, 5, and 6 for next week, and we will pick up there. I have been trying to decide what to do next after we finish the Border Trilogy, for this kind of weekly, um, you know, a few chapters at a time, kind of a digital book club, I guess. And I wasn't sure. I was kind of debating on a few different books, on whether to go with a different author or to continue with McCarthy. And I thought about Four Past Midnight by Stephen King. I considered that one, but those are more like novellas and not short stories. I'm not sure how that would fit in a weekly format, because they are kind of long. But I had some other ideas on other books to try. But I think I'm going to stick with McCarthy, and I think next time we will maybe do The Outer Dark. Uh, we will No Country for Old Men was another one. I thought about rereading The Road, or rereading Blood Meridian. I plan to just continue with McCarthy, because I'm hooked on McCarthy right now. I love his work, and I'm getting it's just been a lot of fun. So if you have a preference, please let me know. There is a link down below in the description to send me a message directly, or of course you can post on the forum if you're there. Let me know what your thoughts are, what book next. But the next one I thought would be probably The Outer Dark. It's fairly short. We can get through it pretty quickly. Another book I would really love to do, Blood Meridian again, in a format like this. I think it would help breaking up the violence and the brutality into small chunks, and to kind of take sections at a time for discussion, I think that would really help, because reading that book from start to finish was a lot when I read it. And I'm someone who loves the darker stuff, but Blood Meridian is something else. So again, let me know what your thoughts are if you have a preference. And thank you for reading along with me. Thanks for your patience. I just, it's been it's been a long month, and I kind of fell behind on other things, and I just wasn't, like I said, wasn't in the right headspace to do this kind of thing. So I'm trying to pick back up and catch up with all of you. So next week we will do the next 3 chapters. And again, if you have anything that stood out to you that I didn't mention, please send a message over to me and let me know what your thoughts are on it. I believe we still plan on doing a discussion for The Crossing, kind of a group discussion. I'm not sure when, but a few other people are finishing it. So we will see how that goes, but I'll keep everyone updated. In the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with me, and thanks for reading along with me. If you are, again, let me know what stood out to you or what I may have missed, because I'm sure I missed something. So until next time, we will talk to everyone very soon. And thanks again for your patience. We'll talk very soon.